Have you ever wondered if we're all secretly zooming through space-time at the speed of light? Let's embark on an exhilarating journey through the cosmos to uncover this mind-blowing concept. Imagine a world where an aeroplane symbolizes our cosmic voyage, moving at a constant speed. Picture it ascending, then shifting direction, creating intriguing shadows along the way. But what happens when we illuminate these shadows? Join us as we delve into the mysteries of space-time, exploring how shadows reveal profound insights into the fabric of the universe. Get ready for a cosmic adventure like no other. Don't forget to hit subscribe for more captivating space discoveries. So in the first 1 second, that shadow is at rest. In the next 1 second, it starts moving, so it speeds up a little bit, so it starts moving with some speed. And then in the last 1 second, it speeds up even more. It moves even faster. Now here's a big question. Imagine there were a couple of shadow people. You can imagine them to be two-dimensional beings who thought that their world was two-dimensional. That's it. They couldn't comprehend the third dimension, so for all they know, that shadow is an actual object. So what would they be seeing, and how would they be perceiving things? From their perspective, they would say in that first 1 second that the shadow was at rest, it didn't move at all, that object is not moving. In the next 1 second, that object started moving a little bit, and then they saw it's moving even faster. So they see that object accelerating. Now you and I know what's really going on. We understand that really that object is traveling at the same speed in 3 dimensions. But since that shadow only represents a 2-dimensional projection, that's why that shadow will have variable speed, but they don't know that. In fact, if they could see that shadow long enough and the plane kept on moving and twisting and turning, but all the while maintaining that constant speed of 1 meter per second, they will eventually realize that shadow keeps moving, but it will have a maximum speed of 1 meter per second, and they would be wondering why that would be the case. In fact, they would realize that in this world everything has a speed limit. Their universe has a speed limit of 1 meter per second. Nobody can break through it, they'll postulate it. But they'll have absolutely no idea why that's happening. Just like those two-dimensional shadow people, we think that there's a speed limit in our universe, the speed of light, and nothing can go faster than light. But maybe that's because we're seeing a 3-dimensional shadow of what's really happening in 4-dimensional space-time. Maybe everything in the space-time is moving just like that aeroplane at a constant speed, always at the speed of light. But because we are seeing a projection of it in our universe, we perceive it as a speed limit. But maybe it's not the case. Maybe everything is moving at the speed of light. So we can now begin to see where this idea stems from, right? But we are far away from accepting this idea as of now. Because remember, this is science. Unlike in religion, we don't just accept ideas. In fact, one of the best ways to deeply understand science is to be a skeptic and always try to figure out what if. Try to counter it. Try to refute it from different angles. So that's what we'll do. We should at this point look at this example and say, cool story, bro, but how can we validate this? I mean, is there a way that these shadow people can actually somehow validate that from their perspective? That indeed that there's a bigger world out there and objects may be traveling at a constant speed? Because if these shadow people cannot validate it, then we have no idea of validating it, right? And then it'll just remain a story with no reason to have any confidence in it. So this is where Louise, who has written a book named Relatively Visualized, where this plane example was mentioned, says maybe they can. I'm like, how? How could these shadow people ever hope to understand that there could be a bigger world out there? How would they do that? The key over here is to imagine a second shadow on a wall, perpendicular to this first shadow. Now I know what you're thinking at this point. I'm also having the same thought. Louise, what's the point of having to look at this shadow? Because these folks are stuck in their 2 dimensions, right? They will not be able to perceive the shadow or look at that shadow, so what's the point in looking at that? And Lewis says, You're right. But remember, just like us, we are stuck in our 3 dimensions and we cannot see time, but we can still measure the flow of time with our clocks. Similarly, what if they cannot see this shadow, but somehow they can measure how quickly that shadow is moving? They can measure the speed of that shadow, somehow, okay? Then would they be able to, use the speed of this shadow and then use the speed of this shadow, which they can easily see, and then piece it all together and see there's something deeper going on over here? Let's find out if we can do it. So now let's relook at this whole thing and its whole glory. Now, by looking at a couple of shadows, and let's keep track of both the shadows, speed of both the shadows. In the first 1 second, this shadow is at rest. But look, this shadow moves completely 1 meter. It is moving at the maximum speed, so this is at rest, but this shadow, the vertical shadow, is moving at a maximum speed. In the next 1 second, this shadow starts moving, its speed increases, but its speed decreases. I mean, this distance is now a little smaller than 1 meter. All right, space explorers, did you catch that? We've unraveled the fascinating connection between vertical and horizontal speeds, unlocking insights into the mysteries of our universe. From the intriguing analogy of shadow people to the mind-bending application of Pythagoras' theorem, we've journeyed deep into the cosmos together. But this is just the beginning. Imagine what else we can uncover if we continue to dive into the wonders of space science. So don't stop here. Hit that subscribe button and join us on our cosmic quest for knowledge. Stay tuned for more captivating content that will expand your understanding of the universe and keep you engaged in the thrilling world of space exploration. Until next time, keep looking up